Good afternoon to all. My name is Gustavo Rodrigues, and welcome to Sunshine News, bringing brightening news at a moment's notice. First off, affirmative policies will be inserted in the Ponta Grossa State University's Alternative Admission System, also known as SSP or PSS. This change will alter the students attempting to enter the university from this year, 2022, to at least 2024. Let us find out more with Maria in front of the central campus of the university.
Good afternoon, Gustavo. The quota system is the new affirmative policy that will be introduced this year for junior high school students in UFPG. The quota system is a part of the affirmative policies, which are policies aimed to attain discriminated and victimized groups against social exclusion in the past or in the present. They are measures to combat discrimination and to increase access to better education, health, and employment. The quota system is in place since 2012, but just seriously put in practice with the serialized selective programs, known as PSS. With it, specific groups will have places reserved for them, with 5% for Black people, 5% for disabled, 10% for Black people from public schools, and 40% from other students from public schools. It is also important to point out that UFPG has reserved 25% of the vacancies for the PSS. Other thing that is important to point out is that scholarships are often given to quota students, but normally they are taken back to the institutions because there is a lack of quota students. With it, these groups the suppressed groups will make up a larger part of the university's students' body, increasing the diversity and fighting for their place in society. Back to you in the studio.
Alrighty, thanks Maria for the point. To better analyze this quota system shenanigans going along, I'm here with Roger Knows-It-All, a fellow quota system enthusiast. Roger, what do you think of this quota system being implemented in the Ponta Grossa State University's alternative admission system?
Thank you for the question, Gustavo. It is indeed an honor to be here. So, Ponta Grossa State University is implementing changes that will greatly change the competition in PSS. And I must remind high school students watching that the serialized selective process is the most hassle-free way to enter the university. And if you are interested, register as soon as possible, because on the 15th of this month, registration will close. Now, returning to Maria and what she said about the history of quotas, what now is being carried out in the PSS exam today dates back to when Brazil presented its first affirmative policies at the United Nations Conference in 2000. Since then, affirmative policies have increasingly spread among higher education selection processes, especially with the 2012 law. We should be glad that the types of social problems are being addressed, and even more that they are targets of social policies here in our country. Thank you.
Did you know that in condominiums, the raising of domestic animals can be prohibited, but only under special situations? Pet owners always love to walk around with their dogs, cats, even hamsters. But here comes the question, does the law allow them to do so? To better understand the question, our fellow reporter Rafaela is at one of these condominiums that allows pets to walk around freely. Rafaela, let us understand more about the situation.
That's right, Gustavo. Although it appears absurd in the 21st century, such behavior persists in some condos, contrary to moral and legal principles. The fact is that such a prohibition should be dismissed because it violates the federal constitution, which protects life and property of the animal's state of being. Even so, the rule only applies in cases of risk, whether the animal is loose or ferocious. The condominium can regulate, but never prohibit the permanence, transit, and coexistence of these animals within legal limits. It's undeniable that some people do not tolerate children, animals, or the differences and multiplicities inherent in condominium living, and so become unavoidable from the condominium routine. Such misunderstanding can, depending on the degree of struggle, arouse true persecution. To have a perspective of the tenants, we are here with the resident Roger. Roger, what do you think about this animal prohibition?
I do think it's an absurd that condominiums still prohibit this type of activity to this day. Many pet owners only want to raise their dearest friends, and I don't think they will bring any detriment to the condominium. It is a pleasure to have such good animals on your side, and I do think that people that prohibited these type of things are people that don't have pets.
You're right, Rodrigo. Thank you so much for your opinion.
It's my pleasure to meet you.
Next up, Ponta Grossa's Operário football team makes a new, bold bet to attract more customers. They are now offering discounts for the university and student community, hoping to make it more accessible to love your beloved team. Take it from here, Henrique.
Good afternoon, Gustavo. That is right. Operário has developed a new plan for students, especially for the ones in college. We all know the esteem our community has for the team and the sport, always supporting it during its ups and downs. Since the very first matches of the state were played over this soil. The Ghost, as some fans like to call it, is not living a very good fate, having won only one game from the last 6 it has played. Even with the difficulties and a lot of bad luck, the team is rising up again, defeating their rivals from Londrina last Saturday. Even though the athletes are recovering, the squad is coming back to the pitches with an embezzlement, their younger fans. After the unwanted results over the last games, many fans have canceled their memberships with the team, especially the younger ones. With this said, the team's commission has launched a brand new plan of memberships aiming at the more than 12,000 students living in the city. The plan subscribers receive a 20% discount for every game they go to, not to mention all other advantages any member has. Being or not, the love and support to the city sport will always prevail.
With that, we conclude our daily news report. Our crew at Sunshine News wishes to all of our spectators a beaming evening. Thank you all for watching.